Shalom. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect across the four corners of the earth who firmly believe on Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Now this lesson is going to be entitled, This Truth is a Business. Feelings and emotions don't mix. And that's true. It's various scriptures in which, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, by way of his prophets, compared this truth to a business. And you can't deal with your feelings and emotions when conducting business. We know that, just from, dealing with the world and, just different business ventures that brothers may have, dealt in, because when you include, your feelings and emotions, into a business, it clouds your judgment. It alters your judgment in certain decisions that you need to make to help the business flourish, to help the business prosper. That's why you got a lot of times, people don't like to, conduct business, with family members and friends, because what? They want to separate the two just in case of a situation comes about. They don't have to choose over their business or their friends and family, But we of the hopeful elect, we know that the business of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai comes before our friends, our so-called friends, and family, because this thing is bigger than us, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has to seal his elect, and his name has to be glorified. So I just did a quick Google search, on does does business mix with feelings and emotions, and this is one of the articles that popped up. I just want to get into it, read a couple of points, hit the points, then hit some scriptures afterwards, so Lord willing is edifying unto the elect. And the first quote, it says, "Never mix business with personal matters. It just leads to damaged relationships, poor business decisions, or both." And that's true. It's true. But scrolling down, uh, task one: never mix business with personal matters. It just leads to damaged relationships, poor business decisions, or both. In what ways might this be a fair statement? In what ways is it unwise advice? But we're going to get into how it's going to be a fair statement. How it is a fair statement. It says, a good business communicator always remembers that communication is a human activity and takes care to foster goodwill between the communicators. So that's something that's important when conducting business. While you're in this truth, it's important to communicate. That's why the scriptures speak upon a council. The scriptures speak upon a council on how, Akim, the brothers got to come into a certain agreement, to help further Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's ministry. Whether, you got to get the tithes and offerings, in order, and whoever you want to, have, pretty much in control of the tithes, I mean, there's different offices that run accordingly within the camp. It's important that, you put certain men in charge of certain things while being in the truth. You know, who's going to collect the boards and the banners. Who's going to load up, the videos on YouTube, the camp videos. So it's good, to communicate amongst the brethren, amongst the Akim. Also, if brothers feel as though they have aught once against another, you talk to that brother personally. And if the situation continues, you bring another brother, and if the situation continues, you bring a council upon it, and you get the whole camp involved. Communication is key. Communication is key while being in this truth. In Matthew the 18th chapter, Yahweh Shai tells us to deal with matters, accordingly, such as such. So it's all a part of business. Let's get into another fair statement. It says to neglect the business goals, risk of damaging the personal relationship, leads to poor business decisions. Business decisions are complicated with emotional baggage. The motive of personal gain overrides the achievement of business objectives. You know, and let's get into a fair statement. It says to neglect the business goals. It says when we give more importance in personal relationship and business, it hampers to find out new possibilities, and that's true. When you give more importance or more credence to a personal relationship, to somebody you may camp with, to a brother you may camp with, or even somebody you may know outside of the truth. When you give more importance to that personal relationship that you develop with that individual, ultimately it's going to hinder, you know, you finding out new possibilities to help further the gospel, to help further the truth. You're going to let those emotions, cloud judgment or just keep you from, you know, pushing the ministry. It says innovative work cannot be done and working pattern become limited. That's right, because, you have to be creative when doing this work. You have to be creative in serving Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You know, that's why certain times where you see brothers doing personal shows and things of that nature. Adding certain clips of edification to help paint a picture to bring forth understanding to the elect. That's innovative work. You know, however, if you so tied up and wrapped up into your personal relationship, it's gonna take you away from meditating upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, in which you could further the business to help gather the elect of the nation of Israel. You know, and it says it hampers to find out new possibilities. Innovative work cannot be done, and working pattern become limited. Because what's the working pattern? You know, that was pushed through the vibration of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, doing 2 shows a week. Doing 2 shows of the week at the minimum. However, if you're so wrapped up, into your personal life, you're gonna find yourself not meeting that quota. Every business has a quota. If you into sales, if you're selling cars, or if you say selling cable phone internet service, you know, you on those phones trying to close out a deal, and at the end of the month, you have to meet a certain quota, whether it be 70% of sales made or 80% of sales made. Your boss is gonna, pretty much look at what you've been doing for the past month. However, if you don't meet that quota and it's a constant thing, guess what? Your boss is going to get rid of you. You're going to be replaced. That's the same thing with this truth, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will replace you if you're not meeting the quota, if you're not meeting the standard. In this truth, you want to be proactive, man, not reactive. You know, you want to do what you're supposed to do and not what you're told to do, because you already know what you're supposed to do, and that's doing the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You know, so when you get wrapped into your personal life, guess what? The innovative work that you're supposed to be doing and the working pattern becomes limited. It says, which may work as an obstacle to gain business goal. And what's the goal? To get the hell out of Babylon the Great, man. The goal is for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to be exalted. The goal is for Lord willing, the goal is for us to receive those crowns, in which Yahushua places crowns upon our heads for standing stiffly and boldly for this truth in his namesake. However, if you let the ways of the world, hold you back, that's going to prevent you from obtaining that goal, man, which is salvation. You know, the next fair statement, it says risk of damaging the personal relationship. When the business runs with the basis of personal relationship, it has to face different situations. If there remain any strategic or technical lacking, sometimes it influences personal affairs in a bad way. This problem raises cause of mismanagement or miscommunication. So that's something that you don't want to have in this truth. Mismanagement or miscommunication. Because what's mismanagement? Mismanagement, you can have a situation to where decrees get brought forth. That's a strategic, way and help furthering the gospel and help, provide an order. However, if decrees and orders are broke or they're not met, that what raises mismanagement, you know? And then what? You feel some type of way towards a brother, and that leads for us what? Miscommunication. Or you may have pride to where you don't want to communicate with a brother. You know what I'm saying? You could be low financially. You could be low financially, but what? You constantly like a decision gets made, if brothers is low on some money, on some cash, brothers to help gather a pot, so you don't burden one brother and asking him for money, but when brothers could gather a pot to, to help your situation out, you know, so that one brother's not burdened. Here it is. If you ask him for $20 or $30 from one brother, that could be more of a burden unto him. When if you have 6, 7 brothers within the camp, and each brother adding $5, to help you out, that'll help the business run a lot more smoothly and help your situation out as well as the rest of the brothers. So that one brother doesn't get burdened. You know, you don't want to have miscommunication in this truth. So I'm gonna read that again. It says, when the business runs with the basis of personal relationship, it has to face different situations. If there remain any strategic or technical lacking, sometimes it influences personal affairs in a bad way. This problem raises cause of mismanagement or miscommunication. And I highly agree with that. Another fair statement. Business decisions are complicated with emotional baggage. Suppose a businessman and a supplier are friends who deal together. If the businessman finds that another supplier can give him more benefits, he can't cancel the deals with his friend because of the alarm of bad effect on his friendship. But this bias can lead to a poor business decision and may be harmful for the business. Now let's put that in perspective of this truth. Here it is. You starting up a camp, and say it's 3 of you guys starting up a camp, and you guys been pushing, you guys been pushing, laboring together, and then another batch of 2 guys coming to the camp, maybe a year, 2 years later, 3 years later, and one of the men that you started, camping with, that you started laboring with, you know, is not as proactive in the truth as he once was. However, if you see the new brother coming in and he's on fire, doing the work, he's doing what he got to do to help the business flourish, to help Yahweh Shem Yahushua's ministry get pushed further. He's making sure everything's in order, you know. However, you're preventing promoting that brother, through the spirit of the Lord, I'm saying, over the one who's being lazy in the work, or that's not being that fruitful, in the work. You can't let personal relationships or friendships, cloud your judgment, just because you knew this brother longer, or you knew this individual longer. Whoever's doing what they got to do, to help further Yahweh Shem Yahushua's ministry. And if you see more talent, I'm saying, in that brother, what he has to get bumped up, and the one that started with you has to get, demoted, so to speak, you know. But you got some people, out there that allow that buddy spirit, that cool spirit, I'm saying, that hangout spirit to cloud their judgment, and lifting another brother up, I'm saying, as opposed to the one he started with, man. You got to deal sincerely and you got to deal truthfully while you serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua, while you in this truth, man. So I'm going to read that one more time. It says, suppose a businessman and a supplier are friends who deal together. If the businessman finds that another supplier can give him more benefits, he can't cancel the deals with his friend because of the alarm of bad effect on his friendship. And that's why feelings and emotions don't mix, while pushing the ministry of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, this business, man. Because this situation will happen, and we've seen it, But this bias can lead to a poor decision, business decision, and may be harmful for the business. So what? You dealing off of your own personal feelings and not how Yahweh Shem Yahushua feel. Another fair statement. The motive of personal gain overrides the achievement of business objectives. That's heavy. It says sometimes personal achievement is overrated and it neglects business goal and objective, because you got some guys out there that are out for vainglory, man. You got guys out there that is worried about their own name and not the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We see countless examples of it. It says for that reason, a businessman's decision can prove poor for the business organization. Such kind of incident can hamper or hinder business success and achievement, because you can have a guy that feels as though, you know, he should be a leader. He's well within his rights to be a leader. However, if he's not meeting up to the criteria of what a leader should be, you know what I'm saying? Then what? He's being wise in his own conceits. He's being wise in his own conceits, thinking that he should be a leader when he's not measuring up to that leadership role. And another brother steps up to take that position. However, if he feel prideful, because he's after his own personal gain, it overrides the achievement of business objectives, to help the camp run a lot more, smoothly, you know, and preventing brothers from getting hurt, man. You know, this thing is not about us, man. This truth is a business, man. So we have to make the best decision through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that's going to keep brothers in pocket, that's going to help the business flourish, and for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to be glorified, man. This truth is not about us. One more, another fair statement. It says a businessman doesn't need to mix his personal and professional life, because when he gives more priority to his personal life, it will damage his personal life. Well, I believe they meant to say professional, because when he gives more priority to his professional life, it will damage his personal life. On the other hand, when he gives more priority to his professional life, it will damage his personal life. And that is true. Our professional life, is being prophets, men of the Lord. To profess something means to say before, and to prophesy means to what? Say before. So our professional life is being prophets, and we're putting our professional life over our personal life. Like Jake in the world say, money over bitches. You know what I'm saying? They're putting their professional life, which is the gain of money, over their personal life, which is the bitches. Yahweh Shai told us, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai told us, if you hate not your mother, father, brother, sister, or children, you know what I'm saying, and not follow me, you're not worthy to be my disciple, roughly paraphrasing. So this truth comes before everything. We prioritize our life around this truth, man. So you want to make the best decision and putting Yahweh Bashem Yahushai first, man. And I just want to get one last statement. It says, improves the motivation and importance of individuals and groups in the organization. Business is a broad term. Here one always needs to keep in mind that if they are mixing personal feeling, it should have a positive view. Mixing of personal considerations with business is desirable only to the extent it improves the motivation and performance of individuals and groups in the organization. That's right. So, we all deal, with feelings and emotions to a certain degree. However, it has to be in sync with the scriptures, and it has to be in bettering the camp and bettering the body of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. However, if you're making decisions based upon, your feelings and emotions because it's about how you feel and it's not linking up to how the rest of the brothers within the camp feel, chances are you're in the wrong spirit, man. Chances are you in the wrong spirit, and you have to check yourself. You have to check yourself. So I'm gonna actually do a part 2 to this. Getting into the scriptures. So Lord willing, brothers was edified. Upon this point, as far as the edification. Through this article, and I'll be right back with the scriptures. To back up. This here article. Shalom.